Okay, now let's look at question number 27. So Pip uses black and white buttons to form figures that follow a pattern. And the first four figures are shown below. So let's look at the question. So part A, the table shows a number of black and white buttons used for each figure. And complete the table for figure 5. And now let's look at the figure number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are only focusing on the number of black buttons now. So for figure 1, we have 0 black buttons. For figure 2, we have 1. For figure 3, we have 3. For figure 4, we have 6. And 0, 1, 3, 6. Okay, if you are sensitive to sequences, you will find that these are all triangle numbers. It means they form triangles. So 1, and then 3, and then 6. Okay, they form triangles. And then for 5, then we will have, this is 1 and 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3. And then at 5, we will have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So it will be 10. Okay, and then let's look at the number of white buttons. So for figure 1, we have 1. For figure 2, we have 4. For figure 3, we have 9. For figure 4, we have 16. And you should find that they are all square numbers. So the number of white buttons is just the figure number squared. So for 5, we will have 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. And the total number of buttons is just number of black plus number of white. So 10 plus 25, 35. That's part A. Now let's look at part B. So a figure in the pattern has 100 white buttons. How many black buttons are there in that figure? So 100 white buttons. And white buttons are all square numbers. So let's see which number times itself is 100. That's correct. It is 10. So it should be the figure number 10, right? But for the number of black buttons, we have to pay attention because at 1, we have 0. So we start counting at the second one. So it means that for 1, we have 0. And then for 2, we have 1. For 3, we have 1 plus 2. So for 10, we should add all the way to 1 before 10. So we should have 1 plus 2 plus all the way to 9. That is correct. And then use the equation, first term plus last term times the number of terms divided by 2. It will give us the sum of 1 plus 2 plus all the way to 9, which is 45. So there are 45 black buttons in that figure. Okay. And now let's look at part C. So a figure in the pattern has a total of 70 black and white buttons. So we know that it should be a triangle number, the black buttons, and a square number. Okay, it's a square number. I'll just use a square to represent. That's for white. So let's start with the largest possible square number, less than 70, which is 64. So that means we're at figure 8. Then we will have 1 plus 2 plus all the way to one number before 8, which is 7. So is that, we should have 6, right? Because this is 64 right here. Apparently 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus all the way to 7 is more than 6, correct? So that means we should not look at the figure number 8. It should be less. So the next one is 49 because it's 7 times 7. And then it will be, so it's figure number 7. So we will have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus all the way to 6. And that will be 7 times 6 divided by 2, which is 21. And 21 plus 49 is apparently 70. So that is our answer. It is figure number 7.